All right, so you know that feeling right when the day is finally over, you're exhausted. But the second your head touches the pillow, suddenly it's like your brain decides, oh, it's time to overthink everything. Anxiety's bubbling up that to-do list, playing on repeat. How many nights have you tossed and turned like that lately?
Way too many.
Yeah. Well, today we're diving into something that might just be a total game changer for those restless nights. We're talking about using a journal, a notebook, specifically designed to help you actually sleep better.
Yeah, exactly. We've talked about how powerful journaling can be in general,
Yeah.
but today we're zeroing in on how that practice can really make a difference when it comes to sleep, and especially when it's kind of guided by a notebook designed for that purpose, like the Journal Notebook for Better Sleep from Lestallion.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
Right, and they have those in both soft and hard cover with like all sorts of colors to choose from, so there's something for everyone.
Yeah, exactly what really grabbed my attention with Lestallion's whole approach is this idea that you can actually work towards quieting that mental chatter that keeps us from sleeping well by making a regular evening routine and adding in some focused reflection through journaling. So today we're going to explore how that works. Can we really get more restful nights, less anxiety, and a clearer, calmer mind just by putting pen to paper, especially in a notebook designed for sleep?
That's the big question.
That is the big question we're digging into today.
And it's not about just grabbing any old notebook. Lestallions really thought this through. They talk about the paper quality, how it makes writing smoother, more enjoyable, and even that soft faux leather cover, it adds this nice tactile element that makes you want to use it regularly. It's all about building a good feeling around this pre-sleep routine.
That makes sense. So let's break down this whole nighttime routine idea and how journaling fits into it. We kind of already know that signaling to our body that it's time to wind down is super important. But can you tell us more about the specific role journaling plays in that?
Sure, think about it this way. All day, your mind's taking in information, processing stuff, reacting to stress. And when you try to sleep, all that mental activity, it doesn't just vanish, it can stick around. Journaling gives you this dedicated space to get those thoughts and feelings out of your head.
It's like a brain dump.
Exactly. And putting them on paper can actually make them less intense, like your brain's less likely to keep obsessing over them, which frees up space for sleep. It's like you're doing a mental download before shutting down for the night.
So it's not just about writing, it's about giving those thoughts a physical form somewhere to exist outside of your mind.
Exactly. And this simple act, it had some serious psychological benefits.
Hmm.
Writing makes you more mindful. You have to focus on your word, be present in the moment. And it helps you relax by shifting your attention away from stress and towards reflection. And when you do this consistently, it can be a powerful tool for handling anxiety, improving your mental well-being, and ultimately having a healthier relationship with sleep.
Now we know Lestallion is all about sleep journals. What makes a dedicated sleep journal different from a regular journal? And how does it specifically help our sleep habits?
It's all about intention. A sleep journal prompts you to think about things that directly affect your sleep. You start noticing patterns, those triggers or activities that impact your sleep quality, either good or bad. Like, did you have caffeine? How intense was your workout? Did you have a really stimulating conversation right before bed?
So it's about building a personalized record like a sleep diary to help you understand your own sleep patterns.
Right. When you write these things down, they go from vague ideas to solid information. You might not realize that a late-night sugary snack always messes with your sleep, but when you see it written in your journal for weeks, the connection's obvious, and that's where the specific features of Lestallion's journal become really helpful.
Oh yeah, tell me more about those features. What makes this journal designed for better sleep?
Well, first off, it has 211 pages, which shows they want you to stick with it long term. But the numbered pages and the built-in table of contents, those are super practical if you're tracking your sleep over time and what's affecting it. You need to be able to easily look back and see what's been happening to spot trends. And that's what those features help you do. It's like having a neatly organized history of your sleep.
That's a great point. It's all about being consistent and learning from what you've written down over time. And they also talk about that premium smooth paper. Does the actual feel of writing help with sleep?
It really can think about it. Our senses play a big part in how we engage with routines. Smooth paper makes writing more enjoyable, so you're more likely to actually want to journal and do it regularly. And that soft faux leather cover adds to the sensory experience. It makes the journal feel more like a comforting part of your routine rather than just a chore. It subtly shifts how you see journaling from a task to a mindful moment of self-care.
You know, this reminds me of my sister Emily. She was going through a really rough time at work, lots of stress, and she was always complaining about not being able to sleep. She tried all sorts of things, but nothing really helped consistently. So I got her a Lestallion journal, and she started using it before bed. She told me that just writing down everything that was on her mind felt like she was finally hitting pause on the day she also started writing down a few good things that happened each day, even small things.
That's fantastic. She was addressing those anxious thoughts and bringing in some positivity before sleep.
Exactly. And she specifically mentioned how much she liked the feel of the paper. She said it made writing feel calming, and the fact that the pages were numbered actually motivated her to keep going. She could see how much she'd done. She even noticed a pattern on days she skipped journaling. She had a harder time sleeping. It was like the journal became this physical reminder to prioritize her sleep.
That's a great example of how journaling can help you become more aware of the connection between your daily life and your sleep.
So, for someone listening who's like, okay, this sounds interesting, I want to try this, what are some really effective journaling techniques they can use to get better sleep?
Consistency is key, like we've been saying. Make journaling a regular part of your evening routine, ideally around the same time every night. This helps your body understand that it's almost time for sleep. And when you write, be honest, don't hold back. Don't censor your thoughts and feelings, whether they're good or bad. Just letting them out on the page is what matters.
We've mentioned gratitude journaling a few times. How powerful is that, really?
It's more powerful than you might think. Just taking a few minutes to write down 3 things you're grateful for can really shift your mindset before bed. It makes you focus on the positive stuff from your day instead of letting worries take over. And if you're ever stuck staring at a blank page, don't worry.
Mhm.
Prompts could be super helpful questions like, what made me happy today? Or what am I looking forward to tomorrow? Can give you a starting point and help you focus.
Those are good ones. And it probably helps to combine journaling with other relaxing things like reading a book or taking a warm bath to create a whole wind down routine.
Absolutely. Journaling is one part of a bigger strategy for better sleep. And remember to be kind to yourself when you're journaling. Be honest.
Hmm.
There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's your own personal space for thinking and processing. And again, the design of a journal, like Lestallion's with its smooth paper and lots of space, it really makes this whole process easier and something you can stick with.
My colleague Tom was really skeptical about journaling. At first, he thought it was just another thing to do, but he was having trouble sleeping. He was waking up in the middle of the night a lot. So I told him about the Lestallion journal and how it could help him keep track of his sleep. He started super simple, just writing down what time he went to bed and if he woke up during the night because the pages were numbered and there was a table of contents. He could keep track easily, even with just a few words each night. Then he started adding a sentence or two about how he felt before bed, and when he looked back, he was surprised to see that certain things he did in the evening seemed to be linked to him waking up at night.
That's a perfect example of how even a little bit of journaling can give you some really useful insights. The structure of the Lestallion journal makes it easy to start small and gradually build the habit as you start to see the benefits.
Okay, so beyond just reflecting on your day, actually tracking your sleep and your progress using a journal seems super useful.
Yeah.
How can we use a sleep journal for tracking in the best way?
By writing in it regularly, you create this detailed log of your sleep patterns. You can track things like your bedtime, how many hours you slept, how rested you felt when you woke up, and if you woke up during the night, and any possible reasons why.
So it's like becoming a sleep detective looking for clues in your own sleep data.
Exactly. And over time, this tracking can reveal patterns you might not even notice. Otherwise, like you might realize that when you skip your evening walk, you always have trouble falling asleep. Or maybe you notice that even one glass of wine close to bedtime messes with your sleep. And once you see these connections, you can start making changes to your sleep hygiene. Those habits and things in your environment that affect how you sleep.
And again, Lestallion points out how the features of their journal, the lots of pages for tracking over time, the numbered pages for easy reference, and the table of contents for organization are all designed for detailed sleep tracking.
Yes, these features make the journal a practical tool for analyzing your sleep, and the back pocket lets you keep other notes or information handy, so it's like a central hub for everything you're doing to sleep better.
I had a friend, Liam, who thought his late night snacking was messing with his sleep, but he wasn't totally sure. So he started using his Lestallion journal to write down exactly what he ate in the evenings and then how he slept after a few weeks. The connection was so clear the nights he ate heavier, sugary snacks close to bedtime, he always slept poorly. Seeing it all written down made the cause and effect super obvious, so he started making healthier choices and ended up sleeping way better.
That's another great example of how simply writing things down and looking back at them can lead to real positive changes in your sleep habits.
So, as we wrap up our deep dive today, what's the main takeaway you want listeners to remember?
The biggest thing is that making journaling a consistent part of your nightly routine, especially with a well-designed notebook like the ones from Lestallion can be a really effective way to improve your sleep quality. It gives you a space not just for writing, but for reflection, for processing your day, and for becoming more aware of your sleep patterns, which leads to more restful nights and a better sense of well-being overall.
It really makes you think what small thought or feeling, if you just took a moment to write it down tonight, could actually help you get deeper, more restorative sleep tomorrow.
That's a powerful question to consider if you're interested in learning more. I encourage you to visit Listallion's website or check out other resources on sleep hygiene and the benefits of journaling.
Here's to all of us getting better sleep. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
See you next time.